Joining us today is Victorian Grand Master Bob Jones and Deputy Grand Master Hillel Benedykt. Welcome to the program.
Thanks, Wes.
Thanks, Wes. Good to be here.
Now, we've received hundreds of emails and phone calls from people interested in knowing more about Freemasonry. Firstly, what about some of the other religious organisations, the other churches? Do some of those consider Freemasonry to be sinful? And if so, why?
No, not to my knowledge. There's obviously particular people in particular churches have a different view of Freemasonry than perhaps the organisation of that religion. We're not a religion. We are having a faith, having a belief in a supreme being is the only connection we have. To join Freemasonry, you have to have that belief in a supreme being. And it doesn't matter what that is, what religion that is. So I don't see that there's any contradiction at all in different faiths.
No, and just to sort of support that statement, I'm of the Jewish faith, and there's certainly been some distinguished rabbis from the Victorian community that have been Freemasons, and there's certainly quite a lot of Jewish brethren, and there's certainly no conflict there either.
So what about people who are not part of a mainstream church? Could they become Freemasons or even an atheist? You mentioned the need to believe in a supreme being.
Well, it's an interesting question, because certainly an atheist doesn't have my understanding of an atheist is that they don't have a belief in any sort of being or supreme being. So they would be excluded from joining Freemasonry for obvious reasons. But again, as Hillel said, we have Muslims, we have Jewish brethren, we have Christians, we have every faith, and that's the beauty of Freemasonry. We're non-denominational. We cross all boundaries of religion. A belief in a supreme being is the bottom line.
Do you accept members who are openly gay in Freemasonry?
What a man's personal life is exactly nothing to do with us whatsoever. It's never come into. It's not a question we ask of men when they join. Men are believe in a supreme being and are good men who are vouched for by referees and the like. So, in fact, in my own lodge, there's a gay man, and he's become one of my very close friends, and I don't have any problem with that at all. There's no problem with his sexuality and Freemasonry. There's no issue at all.
Do Freemasons give preference to other Freemasons when it comes to business? Does it help to be a Freemason to get on within your business life?
I think if somebody joins Freemasonry with that thought in mind, then they'll probably end up being disappointed. Having said that, Freemasons respect each other, and the basis of the organisation is around integrity and honesty and trust. So if you meet somebody that is a Freemason, you expect that person to have those values. So that's the consideration you would give.
Now, one of the questions we received was about Freemasonry being associated with skulls and crossbones and drinking blood. Is there any truth in that, or is that just some sort of urban myth?
It's just myth. It's a nonsensical question. It's one of those things that we use some emblems of mortality in our teachings, but they're exactly that, to teach that when this mortal life's finished, what do you end up as? There's no sinister connotation whatsoever.
And I think the skull became popular in Dan Brown's writings, and that perpetuated the myth.
The Da Vinci Code?
Yes.
So it's nothing to do with creating a new world order or the secret of hidden treasures from centuries ago?
Wes, can I put it to you this way? We can't get a railway line from Melbourne to Brisbane, the one gauge, in 100 years. How on earth are we going to organise, we can't organise parliaments to agree with one another. No, there's absolutely no, whilst here in Australia and New Zealand we have all our jurisdictions are totally independent. We get together from time to time, once every 2 years, to discuss the issues within our own jurisdiction. But believe me, New South Wales, Queensland, and all the other states are just like football teams and cricket teams. We love to love them, and we like to hate them as well sometimes, in a friendly sort of way. But no, there's no there's nothing like a world order.
Is it accurate to describe Freemasonry as a cult?
No, is the short answer, Wes. I don't think we try and guide people to do anything and to follow us blindly. If there's teachings that they relate to, I guess, self-discovery and improving your skills and your confidence, but we don't ask people to do things that are against the law, against religion, against anything in society. We integrate into society, and we're just normal people, normal average people.
My understanding of a cult is that it's a group of people who don't hold views that would be commonly held by the public. We are certainly not in that category. We are very much ordinary people, citizens, law-abiding citizens in the community that wouldn't hold those sort of radical views that perhaps a cult conjures up.
How do you respond to those people who sometimes say that Masonic ceremonies include satanic rituals?
I'd say they're wrong. Satanic rituals, again, my interpretation would be bad thoughts, bad things, bad vibes. Freemasonry is certainly a place where we encourage life lessons, encourage the progression of men, not bad things, good things. We bring the good out of a man. We help him to develop his personality, develop his speaking skills. It certainly doesn't conjure up anything like the bad image or the bad connotation I have with the word Satan or satanic, not at all.
So not consistent with Masonic ideals?
Not at all. Not for the reasons I've just mentioned. Not at all. It's we are good men doing good deeds, not only within the lodge environment but in the community. So couldn't be further from the connotation that I hold of the word Satan and satanic.
Well, thank you for being here today to answer questions. Look forward to chatting with you more next time.
It was our pleasure.
Thanks, Wes.